Yo, what up? This your boy Tim, aka Teal Speaks.
And it's your girl Yami, aka Yams Be Sane, and you are now tuned into
Love and Theology.
I know I've questioned many things in this world, but I never had to question your love. So I know one thing's for sure. I can put trust in a real love, your love. Yeah.
For every mom who ever missed a meal so they would have enough to let their babies eat.
Yo, we're so glad that y'all continue to watch us, to give us comments and things that y'all want to talk about, but I'm getting a lot of feedback. Have you been getting a lot of feedback?
I've been getting a lot of feedback, and I'm really happy about it. Only thing is that I'm going to request is that in addition to tell us, tell us that you like it by texting us and things like that. But we really, really need you guys to put those things in the comments.
Put it in the comments
as well. Only because it helps us become more discoverable to people. And
something about the interaction, right?
Yeah, and to be honest with you guys have been doing that. That's really good. And we're very, very big about sharing what other people got, what things other people have going on too, and that helps with the mutual interaction.
And tell a friend to tell a friend also, man, to tune in. So, what you say? You don't want to call it testimony?
I guess so. It makes sense because it's theology. Yeah. I don't know. Testimony time?
Testimony time.
Testimony time.
So tell me some good things that happened for you last week.
I'll be letting you go first because I be having to think about my things. What you think?
Good thing that happened for me last week is that I made it through last week.
Oh Lord, here we go. We're back to those.
I made it through last week, but last week was a good week. I didn't have no issues, no extra stressors came up. I just made it through, and I was happy.
There's not something specific that you can point to. There's nothing specific that you can point to and be like, this made my week.
This made my week. You gave me a kiss out the blue last week. That on Tuesday that just made me.
Why do you remember that specifically?
Because that made my week. That was joy. You don't do that quite often. So
I don't give you a kiss.
So that made my week.
Oh my God!
I was so pleased with that.
I gave you a kiss.
I rolled on that kiss all week long.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I guess for me, my testimony is that I feel like I've been kind of inching back into my creative bag.
I have.
And I'm really happy about that because, if you're a creative, you understand sometimes you get deep blockages, especially because I do stuff for other people a lot. So a lot of times I'm so, there's this word that's been circulating around, overstimulated. Overstimulated by, Love and Theology content, or, our daughter, she's her own individual brand. She has an LLC, or, the people that I do work for, stuff with church, all that stuff. I think I've been feeling overstimulated, but I'm learning a balance that is allowing me to kind of get back in my bag, and also my unabashed bag, which is I'm not scared to post, and I'm not thinking about, or in context of posting on social media, right? Which drives viewerships and all of that other stuff. And that could lead to influencer money and blah, 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 all that. I'm not even worried about that. I'm just trying to get it off. And I think that's a good place for me to be. I'm happy about that.
That's good.
So, topic for today. I brought the topic this time because I'll say this. I was thinking about lately. I had y'all know I've been in this this program, doctorate program, and one of the things that I did at the very beginning was put buffers in place so that I would not shrink myself, right? So when you put buffers or you put expectations, or even if you throw something out to God in the world and say, hey, Lord, I want to be better in this area. The assumption is that God is also then going to work in concert with you to ensure that you're doing what putting those activating those prayers on your behalf.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I put buffers in place at the beginning of my program so that I would not do this program the same way I did my seminary program, which is I kind of came in, came out. I thought I was being like discreet and that people didn't know me. It was wrong. But for the most part, I operated very invisibly. Mm. These days, that's not as possible. The program's a lot smaller, so the class is a lot more intimate. That's one thing. But also, it just feels like I've been surrounded or submerged by professors and, people who are just kind of like, school in professorship, yes, and even, with our pastors or just like the people around us, it's kind of like, girl, go.
And what's crazy about what you're saying? You just said that you put buffers, right? So you could be more visible, right?
Yeah.
And then you ask God about it, right?
Yeah.
And guess what God always do? Send people to push it. So what's going on is he sent these professors to push, because they see your light and they're going to push it because this is what you asked for.
But I don't want to make this about me. So I want to talk, if we had to title it, I would title it, Why You Gotta Be So Insecure. I'm taking this from Insecure, the song by Jasmine Sullivan and Bryson Tiller, and the very, very popular TV show, Insecure. Mm-hmm. I just want to talk about, how insecurity kind of shows up and manifests itself in a way that can prohibit us from going towards our purpose.
Right. That's a good topic. Because I think we all deal with insecurity. I know I do, right? I know a lot of people ask me, I hate talking in front of people, right? I hate doing it. I don't know why, but I hate doing it. For some reason, I'm one of the people that when I get in front of people and talk, everything that I know goes out the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then people say, well, how can you do that? Because you played football. You played in front of so many people. Because football was easy. You know what I mean? It was easy. What I mean by that was, of course, I was in front of so many people, but I didn't have to work hard at it, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe it wasn't a calling. It was just a gift. You understand what I'm saying? But now that I'm walking into my calling where I got to speak in front of people, I have the enemy fighting against me, making me feel insecure about the one thing that I got to do to manifest the calling, is to speak in front of people, right? And share the word of God.
Well, something that you said, just speaking in front of people in general, something you said this week kind of stuck with me. You said you did a word study of your name. Mm-hmm. And Timothy, the root word of Timothy is timid.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's what timid comes from, the root word Timothy, or vice versa, one of them.
Okay. And you said, listen, this is him calling me in the midst of me doing something significant. Right. I was doing...
No longer calling me Timothy. My name is O'Neill.
Wait, no, before you even go there. I just want you to understand that Tim don't care that I be in the middle of, working things out. And if you're a creative and you're dealing with a not so creative, right? Like, they don't understand that you be in your zone and you can not be disturbed. So he'd already called me and I said, hey, leave me alone so I can do what I need to do. He's like, okay, fine. Then he calls me again. He's like, I'm not going to call myself Timothy anymore. I was like, okay, first of all, I don't have time for this conversation. But I'm intrigued. What are you going to call yourself?
O'Neill.
Which is his middle name.
Which means champion.
Is that what you, I was about to ask you.
Yeah, it means champion. Yeah, it means champion.
So you want to go by O'Neill now?
Right. That's my name, O'Neill. Call me O'Neill. No longer Timothy.
I mean, did you go further into the word study though? Like about Timothy? Mm-hmm. Like, because I mean,
no, I stopped where I need to stop it.
No, that's not. Okay, so you don't even know how Timothy eventually transforms into who he's supposed to be.
Well, I do know this. Well, yeah, he transformed to somebody who Paul uses, and he begins to preach the word, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, he does. But
he didn't change his name.
No, he didn't change his name. Not at all. But that's what I want to do. I want to change my name to a name that was given to me. I'm not making up a name. Oh, my name is O'Neill. Timothy O'Neill Barnett is my name.
Okay, so yeah, that's a part of where this conversation kind of came from. If you wanted to know, Yamalay, which is my government name, has 3 variations that I know of. There's a Spanish one that means, I think, beautiful flower or something like that.
Beautiful flower.
Or no, beautiful. I think the African definition means beautiful flower. And then there's an Iranian definition that I found recently, but they spell it with the J, but the J is pronounced with the Y. That means extremely talented.
And you are all those, I must say.
I appreciate you for saying that. But
your name fits who you are.
I think so. Martine, I think, means war, which is interesting.
That fits who you are.
I think it means warrior. Or my maiden last name, which is Marcellus, which means war or warrior. One of them. No. I gotta look up the way, which also, because I'm a hurricane. Either way.
But, getting back to the topics, insecurities always come from like something of the past most of the time. Wouldn't you agree? Like it's something that's beginning to rear itself up. You don't even know what it is, but it always wins if you don't deal with the problem. What causes you insecure?
It's actually why I would love to. I love the concept of going to see a therapist, because I was thinking about that today. I was thinking about how, honestly, I was like, wait, the pastor, one of our pastors said this, like in Bible study, was like, who told you to be silent? She was talking about a different context, but that stuck with me. Who told you to be silent? The first time I ever sung in public, I was 3. At a church, I sung a Creole song called Nous t'a couillé très bien. Nous t'a couillé très bien. Même ça qui empêche. And I don't remember the words. La parole bon Dieu. Anyway, which means that from the jump, arguably, I have been very confident and willing to kind of go out there and do stuff. And even when I think about, like, most artists can point to somebody, one person specifically that was a major influence in who they become, right? So when people used to say all the time, like, who influences you when it comes to singing? I never had one person. I never could point to someone that said, like Whitney Houston was the only one that, whatever, Mariah Carey. Right. It was never like that. I was always in my lane, and these people kind of through osmosis had their effect on me. But there's not one person that I can point to that been like, this was my influence, which is to say that I was always in my own lane. Right. I was always thinking in my own lane. So I'm trying to figure out where I went from, and if you're watching this, you can see me pointing straight forward. But how I got from, like, how the Bible tells us, talks about in Psalm, I look to the hills for which cometh my help coming from the Lord. So that's a straight path. I'm looking up, so I don't even see what's going on to my left or to my right. I'm trying to figure out where I went from looking straight up to paying attention to what's around me. Because what happened, right, and even when you hear the story of Peter walking out on water. As long as Peter's focus was, the preacher say, as long as he was focused on Jesus, he was all right. But the minute he looked to his left and the minute he looked to his right, he sunk. And I was sinking so deep inside. I am in my music bag lately. But I feel like I've gone from looking up to looking to the side. And I'm slowly realizing that if I keep looking to my left and my right, I'm going to sink. And I'm never going to become who God has called me to be. And I saw this, I called him after one of my Tuesday classes because the professor had asked us to do something that I do naturally, which is to pitch a thing, right? I do it when I'm not thinking. With ease and grace. I can pitch myself, I can pitch you, I can pitch if I'm in my funny bag. And the minute the request came, I said, oh, I can't do this. This is the class I'm going to miss. Or, all of these things came up. And I'm like, where did this fear, who taught you to be silent? Where did this fear come from?
Could it be like everything that you said, at some point you began to see yourself? You see what I'm saying? And then once you saw yourself and saw the greatness of yourself, it scared you.
I wouldn't even call it greatness.
It is greatness. You know, I think anytime you walk into what it is that you're talented, everything that God, you're affecting people, that's great. You see what I'm saying? That's what I think. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying this to you, but I know that sometimes we begin to see ourselves and be like, oh my God.
Well, this is too much.
I ain't going
to be able to live out.
Exactly.
What they call, imposter syndrome.
Right.
Maybe.
Like once you see yourself and now you're like, man, I got to keep this up. What if I fail? You know what I mean?
Or maybe they'll see that like I'm really not that great at this thing.
You know what's crazy about it? I don't think nobody is really that great at anything they do. They just keep on doing it. You understand what I'm saying?
No, that's the people. The people who are the winners are the most consistent.
Are the most consistent. It's just thing that I saw. I love it on Instagram. Little video that say, if you can't stay motivated, stay consistent. Mm-hmm. Because if you can stay consistent, you'll find your motivation again.
That's it.
You know what I mean? I love that. I mean, ain't much I like that on Instagram, but I love that.
He's gonna try to play you like he don't be on that Instagram. That thing be getting his little thumb addicted. But okay.
No, I don't. I'm not like most people. I stroll because that's the thing that we do. But I really don't get into it like that. I mean, you can look at my page and tell the story over that, but anyway, some things can prove itself. I don't have to prove it to people. It proves for itself.
All right. When the phone gives you your little analysis about how...
we can do that.
Yeah. We'll look at
screen time.
Mm-hmm.
Right, let's do that. Right. But anyway, but I think sometimes you begin to see yourself, right? And then when you see yourself, it can, scare you. You know what I'm saying?
Or, how there are chapters in our lives that we don't read aloud.
Right.
So I get the vantage point of seeing me in my holistic self that other people don't see. I was thinking about Moses and how hesitant he was to fulfill the ask.
Right.
And I wonder if it's because he had a 360 view of himself. Mm-hmm. And said, I can't be no leader. I was out here, busting heads. You know what I'm saying? I can't be no leader. I'm not even supposed to be a part of the lineage of
the Israelites.
Where I'm not even a part of this crew. Mm-hmm. I can't lead them. I can't be the leader because I don't have the integrity it takes to uphold the responsibilities of a leader. I can't be a leader because maybe I don't even know what a leader looks like. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's crazy though. Even with that, that's such a good example because Moses, you remember when the two Israelites was fighting, and he broke it up and it was an Israelite and Egyptian fight. He broke it up and killed the Egyptian, right? Mm-hmm. And right then he was acting as a leader right then, but he had no demand on his leadership.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? But once God put a demand on his leadership, he was like, man, I might fail at this. You see what I'm saying?
But also he had the words. What was the Hebrew? Because after that, the story comes up where another two Hebrews are fighting against each other, and then he says, "Well, nah, why aren't you doing that?" And then they said, "Well, hold on, what if we continue to fight? What, you gonna beat us up too? You gonna kill us too?
You're gonna kill us too, right?"
So it's also the whispers.
Mm-hmm. But then that made him. That's put fear on him right there.
Yeah, that's why he fled. He fled. Yeah.
That's why he fled.
Yeah. It's also. And I think for me too, it's also the whispers. It's the people who have seen me at my worst, right?
Right.
Who may be able to point to, this girl right here, and not Instagram, but the media's love to hold receipt.
It's funny too because I think even Jesus echoes that we're talking about when he says that a prophet, what it says, is not known in his home.
It's not received in his own
town. In his home land, because they know too much about you. They're gonna remind you of who you used to be, because but they're never gonna see who you becoming.
Yeah, and that's what they did with Jesus. Ain't that carpenter boy? Mm-hmm. How he gonna save us?
Man, he builds stuff.
That's all he do. Yeah. How he gonna save us?
Yeah, too many people know. And even if you look at James, man, James didn't receive his own brother until after he had left. You know what I mean? Until after it was over, then he was like, man.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
He was the savior, his own brother.
The various amount of James that are in the Bible, and trying to figure out which one is connected. I've never done the connection. So I'd be like, I don't even know.
Well, most theologians has came to understand that the James of the Bible probably was his brother because of his priesthood and stuff like that. Now, but what you're saying is they really don't know definitely. Just like they really don't know whoever wrote any book of the Bible. You know what I mean? Nobody can definitely say Paul wrote this. They just put together a whole bunch of autographs and other writings to say this has to be him, right?
Yeah.
Because most of the writers had a third party writer. It was through word of mouth. You know what I mean? Like somebody was sitting beside Paul and Paul was saying, write this down. You see what I'm saying? So I think they said it's only one letter that they think that he actually wrote. They didn't have somebody that wrote it for him.
Maybe it's his words nonetheless.
But it's still his words, right? No, I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying it's still his words. Nobody really never knows, man. So
I just think that in this season, even with putting buffers in place, I've been too resistant, and it's becoming annoying even to me.
Right.
And I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't want to continue to operate as though my insecurity should be holding me back.
And then too, we got to get out of a place of not doing stuff to make other people feel good. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes we dumb ourselves down just so somebody else won't feel insecure.
That's a very big part of why I do stuff. Because I know people don't understand when you've been in front of people's gazes a lot, like it's not all that it's cracked up to be. Sometimes, the part of where you get to, if I could do what I do without, like, I don't know. My point is, I don't have the words to fully articulate it, but my point in essence is that you're right. We like being able to operate fully, even with the naysayers in play or the insecurities that you feel, kind of showing itself up is really important.
And that's the thing too, like most of the people gonna love you until they don't love you anymore. You understand what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like with Jesus, they called him Hosanna, then they said Hosanna, then they said crucify him in the same breath, right? But he kept on moving towards the goal. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna bring your gift is gonna bring hate. You understand what I'm saying? But it's also gonna bring love to the people that need to bring love too. So, and then the people that we dumb ourselves down for, so they won't feel insecure, they're not gonna do it for you. They want you to do that so they can just shoot on right past you. You see what I'm saying? So
that part they can have. I just want to do it.
No, I'm just saying so they can do that. That's just what it is. You can't do it. You say that part, they can have it, but I just want to do the craft. You can't do the craft if you dumb yourself down. It's not going to happen.
You're right. You're right.
It's not. You can't do it. So you have to let your light shine and blind everybody who's trying to be a hater with your light. Blind.
You took that from Anika. Wisdom from you. Wisdom from me to you from 1972.
Yeah. So.
No, you're right. You're right. It's been a thing, and it's a thing that I know that once I get under control, things will start happening, which I'm very afraid of. But also, I don't know. I know that it's a struggle for me. It's a struggle for y'all. Y'all be out here struggling like that. Y'all just be walking in y'all purpose, unabashedly, without any fear.
I think everybody does it, but I think the difference is some people know how to keep on moving forward. You know what I mean? Why they do it.
I do it in pockets. So I'll be having moments where I'll be like, okay, let's go.
I mean, you do it too, though. I've seen times where, you had haters come before you and you still operate with the limelight on you. Don't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I go home and weep.
So, I mean, I think you do it too. So.
I just want to do it better. Because I really am committed to this to dying empty. I want, and it's crazy to me because I was thinking about this the other day. The church was so instrumental in helping me to foundationally learn how to do these gifts. My church really prepared me for all the things that I do now. Mm-hmm. And because I had that experience in my mind, everybody has that experience.
Everybody had,
the churches that allow them to, you know, practice speaking in public or, you know, practice singing, you know, even between ain't nothing like having a Haitian crowd not feel what you had to sing that Sunday. You can always tell the difference between, you know, Black churches, they do the take your time, and when they hit you with the take your time, you know that like you was you're not singing well. In Haitian churches, they'll just look at you, and if you get an amen at the end, that's it. That's how you know you were trash. But if you get like a hallelujah, you know, that's how you know you did good. But these are the things. These are the training grounds that have prepared me to really navigate spaces, and I just want to. I want to go back to the Yami that was so cool. With just going and trying stuff even when I was scared. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you think it came from? It stems from? Like, what do you think it started when you started to see yourself or get scared and like, man, I don't want to do this no more. I'm not as good as what I think I am. Or whatever it is that's keeping you from letting your light shine.
It could have been just the no's. Because the amount of no's that I maybe experienced, or the times that I was sitting under people who had the position and the wherewithal to make things change for myself, for my life, and they never did.
Right.
It made me feel like, oh, this must mean that I don't have it, which honestly, it may not. That's probably far from the truth. It's probably more like I did have it, but they wanted to keep what I had to themselves.
You know, it's crazy. I was talking to somebody this week, and we was pretty much kind of had like the same conversation. It was like, you know, they're trying to do film and whatnot, and in some places they want to let in like some roles they didn't get, right? And I told them, I said, look, it ain't. Sometimes we get turned down. And we begin to confuse the no with, I'm not supposed to be doing this thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's not true. That no means, God might be saying a no because I don't want you to do that thing with them. I need you to create your own lane. It's something that you have. I need your authenticity to show through your own way. So it's not saying no, it's just saying that you got to keep moving and do it yourself, right? One thing about Shakespeare, right? Shakespeare shook up the world of plays because he did it differently, right? Mm-hmm. He didn't go to school. He went to school for a little while, got kicked out. And then he began to write plays in a whole different way that plays were written. People hated on him, but now his way set the model of how plays supposed to be written. Mm-hmm. He's one of the greatest playwrights ever because he was different. So sometimes that no is not, you're not supposed to be doing it. Sometimes that no is that I don't need you to do it this way. I need you to do it this way because I need the world to see how you do it.
And that's it. So, what is your theology?
My theology is, you know, just continue to let your light shine. You know, don't dumb yourself down to make other people feel good. Let your light shine and blind everybody who's hating when they see your light.
Okay.
That's my theology. What's your theology, babe?
In the words of the prophet Dory. Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming. Wow. That's good.
Just keep swimming. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Love and Theology podcast. We hope that this was fruitful and beneficial for you on this day here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell the whole wide world where you can find us. And also, if you have any topic issues, feel free to email us at loveandtheology@gmail.com. If you are on the social medias, follow us at The Love and Theology Podcast on Instagram, or T.O. Speaks, or Yams B Saying. YAMZ, the letter B, SAYIN, no G. And have a blessed day.
Hey, just keep liking, sharing, and tell a friend to tell a friend. If you want some merch, get at us.
Loves having the last word. I just be trying to set it up all smooth and radio-like, but whatever. What you say? Get some merch, baby? Mm-hmm. Buy some.
But peace. We out.
Bye.
I know I've questioned many things in this world, but I never had to question your love. So I know one thing's for sure. I can put trust in real love, your love. Yeah.
For every mom who ever missed a meal so they would have enough to let their babies eat. Fathers who grind every day to provide more than good advice. Charlie Sheen.